No problem.
You have your show too? You have a show?
Oh yeah, I have a show. It's called the Oh So True Show, and I have I do all type of stuff. You know, I talk shit every day on there. I cook and I give advice. You know, I show them my
cooking.
real life and yeah. So I have a lot of people watching. I just got my first 70,000 viewers live. So
Move it over.
Wow,
Should I move your mic over just a little bit to the right? Yeah.
that's good, baby.
Yeah. You got something? Yay, Felice saves the
we
day!
gonna plug this up.
It's going to have to go over there.
We gonna plug this up, and all the lights gonna go out in this building. That one time, gonna mess it all up. We was doing fine.
Okay, y'all. I'm here. We at the show live.
building on.
Buzzing off with Lutonya. And say hey, tell them who you
Hey,
are.
how are you? My name is Brandon Reynolds. I'm a motivational speaker.
He's on the show with me as well. Come on.
Hello, my name is BLT. I'm a tear your self-esteem down coach.
He is a cup, okay? He is live.
If you ever want your life tore up, give me a chance, women. Just give me a chance. I'm telling like it is.
You know what? He is the one time for the fun time, okay? Type of guy,
I
okay?
ain't playing.
Some ladies say they like that. You know,
I
ladies
ain't got
like
no
them.
problem. I
a
like it
little
too.
rough.
Let me drive your car. I'll be back next Thursday. I ain't lying. You will see it on Facebook with the other girl I'm staying with.
Oh my goodness! Do not get that man y'all keys.
Hey,
Do not get that man your keys. You better have a tracking device,
you
okay?
better have
Come on,
something.
Tanya. Tell them who you is, baby.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your girlfriend, your buddy, your pal, Lutonya. Welcome to the family. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
All right.
Okay, you guys log on right now. www.industrybuzz with 3Z's.com. I love her. That's what. Can y'all imagine two people? It's like me and her. Like we like get the same personality.
Yeah, that's a
So
lot
I'm gonna
of
get a
it.
phone to Q, and she's not gonna talk to y'all. She not gonna read no comments, but she gonna give y'all a live broadcast. Okay. So everybody, I need y'all to do what? Share this video, cause what? We got producers watching all week, so we trying to get this network popping. I'm trying to get this.
Industry Buzz with 3Z's.com. Now, bringing integrity back to media. Lutonya M. Lane.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your girlfriend, your buddy, your pal, Lutonya of Industry.com. And I am so excited to be able to top off our Black History Month, or as Brandon would say, African American or something like that.
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. It's something going on, but it's definitely Black History Month, and we're making history right now with BLT, comedian extraordinaire,
Yes.
106.3 WGCI. You name it, he's there. Greens, beans, tomatoes. What is it?
Every time. Every time.
And speaking of that, we got Shanae in the building, y'all. She is, this is my girl. She's my girl. Look, I watch her all the time online, so y'all got to get tuned in. And Brandon, he's a motivational speaker. And so today our topic is dating. No. It's single,
Yes.
dating,
Yes.
married, divorce. Now what? And you know,
all my life.
so it's just going to be an organic conversation. But I definitely invite you to be bold, to be fearless, and be authentically you in everything that you do, and join in with us on today as we have this conversation. So, welcome to the show, BLT.
Thank you for having me, Queen. I guess that's what I have to do to get close to you. You understand me?
Yes, to be close.
Right.
To
I'll
you.
take a couple of more episodes too if you want me to.
Shanae, it's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be here, honey. It's good to be here. I be watching her page, y'all, and I be like,
thank you.
She's so real like me, you know. Say what you feel and mean what you say, you know, type of person. I love it. So I'm glad to be here, especially with him. He is a mess.
No,
He is a mess.
This lipstick is on fire over here, baby.
Is it
I'm
popping?
feeling that
Is it
lipstick. I'm gonna bite the bottom of your lip like a piece of bazooka gum. You got me on 10. I'm trying to control myself.
And Brandon,
I'm gonna get married, and I'm gonna get divorced, and then I'm gonna be single.
don't do that. Don't do
Well,
that.
at least you know it up front. So don't spend a lot of money on your wedding.
I can't.
Do it in the basement.
And Brandon is here with us.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here.
Brandon is such a role model. I'm scared to say bad things
I know.
around him.
Motivational coach and everything.
He's a family man, a father,
Yes.
and he has his children with him. My kids, if you watching, I'll be back one day. Don't even worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
We got Bella in the studio and Stephanie with us today, and we got Q hanging out with us. But it's definitely going on right now. So the topic first is single. You know, normally when people are single, they're ready to get married. I know I went through that spell, you know, and I was like, man, I want to be married. I was in my 30s and hadn't been married, had a son, you know, so I was like, man, I really wanted to be married. I saw healthy relationships. My parents have been together for about 47 years.
It's a blessing.
And if you ask my mama, she says love on a two-way street, lost in a lonely highway, E. You know, and she loved the mess out of my daddy, and the feeling is mutual. He loved her as well. You know my parents.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just to see that type of love, you aspire to have that, you know, and you think that it will be the same.
You won't.
But it's not. You know, it's not the same. So I'm the only one that's single out of my siblings. I have 3 other siblings outside of me, so I'm the only one that's single. And I enjoy being single. So I had this conversation with my dad. I said, well, what should I do about being single? He said, enjoy being single.
Yeah.
And then when you get married, enjoy being married. But there's a middle area too, the dating part, you know, which is definitely interesting.
Which people ain't doing no more.
No, they not doing it, you know, it's pop, lock, and go, you know.
No, it's Netflix and chill. Everybody Netflix and chilling.
No, they fire stick now, baby. We watching stuff that's at the show. She be like, we should go to the movies. That mean my house.
The movies no more.
That's right.
He like, baby, I already got fences. You want to see it?
Girl, I come. As soon as you come to my
Look,
door.
I got the HD version.
Me too.
So, Brandon, what do you think about the single life? Because now you're married and you went through that process of, you know,
I
being
started
single.
kind of young. I got this is my second marriage. So
Oh, it's
I
a
got
blessing,
married.
brother. Find love again.
Yeah, I got married when I was 22 years old, and I was married for about 3.5 years. I got divorced when I was about 25 or 26. And one thing that it's a lot of life lessons I learned in my early 20s from that. You know, I think with being single, you have to make a decision whether you want to be, number one, in a relationship, and while you're in that relationship, if you want to be married. Because there's certain people that just do not want to be married, sad to say. But I believe that marriage is not for everybody.
Absolutely.
Just like singleness is not for everybody. You know, so you just have to figure out which one is for you. If when you're dating, I'm gonna use my wife now. When we went on our first date, we had already had phone conversations, and she expressed that she eventually wanted to be married one day. I expressed that I wanted to remarry again. When we went on our first date, when you're dating, you have to go somewhere where you two can engage.
That's right.
You know, you're not going to engage sitting in a movie theater.
That's right. First date.
Yeah, you're not going to engage sitting in the movie theaters, and most times you're not going to engage. You can engage while you're eating, but then there's distractions. You know, our very first date, I took her to this place called Centennial Park. It's in Munster, Indiana. Now, at Centennial Park, it's like a pond there. People go fishing. You play golf, and what we did, we walked around the park for about 2 hours.
Wow.
And so we talked.
Got a real date.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't spend no money either.
But it's beautiful.
He just
You
had
don't
to
even
throw
think
that in there.
But
I said I'm
it is
cheap.
beautiful.
But I'm not cheap. You know, I've spent a
You
lot.
just wanted to make sure you was worth the investment.
Right. You have
Look,
to.
she done came back. What do you say, girl?
I did that
Yeah,
too.
and I think that you have to create time. I think that, most men and women who do not want a real commitment, they don't invest time.
Exactly.
They'll give
Exactly.
time, but it's a difference between giving and investing.
Right.
And I invested time in her, and she invested time in me.
You right.
So you
Because
just
it
have
is
to.
two ways to look at that. Because by you not spending no money on that date, that told her something too.
Yeah.
And people don't catch that. But it told her too. Like, hey, he ain't just trying to just break bread. He ain't finna just be tricking off.
Yeah.
He trying to really see what I'm
Establish
about at this
something
park
more.
today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that let her know too. Like, oh, this ain't one of them. I'm gonna just be getting no eats and meals and
Right.
And then
he
he's
actually
looking for
walking around the park for
Right.
real.
Right.
Yeah.
It tells that, I'm a different type of man from
Yeah.
probably what she's been in her past, but
Yeah.
I'm showing you that I want to get to know you.
Exactly.
So that's why we walk around the park and it's free today.
And I've been to that park, and I walked
I've
with
been
a
too.
couple of ladies too.
But I never-
I'm sorry you fell in the water and I didn't help you, but I don't know how to swim.
Over that bridge.
Look,
Over
I've
that
been to that
bridge.
park too.
She was like, get my hair. I say, girl, you worried about the wrong thing. You done got out the water, you worried about your hair. You understand me?
So, Shanae, what's
The
your
man
take?
had to fish in there and get it.
See, I can't. Shanae, what's your take on being single and in that process of
Well,
single
I'm
and dating?
single, and I'm went to get married, and it was just disastrous. And I'm single now, and my take on being single is it's like a game. Because right now, the society we in and the time, and people don't know how to date. People are so used to, we hung out, we went to the club, we went to the movie, we went to eat 5 different places in 5 different days, and now we together. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a rush process. I feel that we have to really take time to know people. And like my mother always told me, you don't know nobody even when they move in with you. It takes some years. You can know somebody 10 years and he will just bust out and do some stuff. You be like, who the hell is this? Where did that come from? You have to really get a chance to know somebody. So I think me being single, my thing now is I'm telling everybody I am trying to build my career first. I'm still figuring out me because I've been divorced and I know what the problem was, and I never want that to happen again. So now with the single approach, the men that I meet, you have to have a pattern of being like a mock of me. You have to be similar to me. Have to be on my level. First I'm getting right with God. So you're going to have to be right with God or getting right with God. We got to be on the same wave path. I've dated men, that was, my street man, my professional man, the athlete, I did all of that. And the men wasn't it. And then I had this thing for I only dated dark-skinned men. And that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I can't really pick and choose what's for me because I really don't know what man is going to come into my life. But now that I'm single, I'm just wanting a guy to come in and understand me, where I'm from, where I've been, and what I'm trying to do in life. And hopefully he has some goals, some ambition. He's about something, and he's establishing something for himself. But I definitely want to be able to date him. I definitely don't want to, like you said, going to the movies. You know how many times I went on a date to the show? And looking like now I'm 33 and I know like that was the dumbest thing because like really what did I learn? I watched the movie and everything was about that movie. We really didn't have time to get to know each other. So I think now being single, I want the real dates. I want the Cheesecake Factories. I want the Hamadas. I want the Benihanas. I want Ronnie's Steakhouse. I want to really sit and get to know you. Like
Whatever. We
You know what I'm
definitely ain't
saying?
going out there because ain't nowhere in the world I'm spending that kind of money.
Oh, you
If
gonna
we
spend
spending
that
that kind of money, I'm moving in because I ain't paid my rent because of you. You understand me? You crazy.
Look, we dating.
You
Do
crazy.
what you gotta do while we
Benihana
dating.
and all that. Come on now.
What about you, DLT?
I will do a video and make and see how to do it myself.
Now, see, I cook.
I squinch my eyes
I
and
cook,
chop
so
up
you
some
ain't
flavor.
always gotta spend your
I
money.
don't care. Benihanas and all that is overrated. Just like them purses y'all carry. MK $1,500 purse.
That is not
You
overrated.
looking at
That's
purse? You got
luxury.
15 cents and a tampon in the purse. This is ridiculous. You understand me? Get your life together. Get your priorities in order. My take on dating and being single. I'm single. I've been married 3 times.
Would you want to
Lord.
do it again?
I'm definitely getting married. My thing is this.
I'm out.
My thing is I'm older now. I understand more of God has put great men in my life to teach me and show me by example, because I'm an example. You can put it on paper all day long, but if I don't see it and know it and can touch it and say this is for real, then that's me.
You're right.
My biggest thing about dating now is that people are so superficial and phony. You know what I'm saying? They allow all this nonsense of the world to get caught up in their spirit, and then they want to say they one way, but you go over a house dirty, and I ain't judging because your house dirty and you got 3 kids and they grown, they should be out. I'm judging your temperament and your mindset. You don't want nobody to grow up. You scared to being alone. You understand me? And if you can never be alone and find out who you are after your kids are grown, because I'm at that age now, or if you're raising a child, a woman, you cannot raise a boy to be a man. I don't care what you do. You can't. You can teach him how to treat a woman, but you can never teach him. And my biggest problem with dating now is priority. Yeah. I'm not going to make you a priority if you're making me an option. That's and it's right. A whole lot of that
First
going
class
on.
Meal,
you know what I'm saying? And whatever. I want to know that this woman is, like you say, like-minded, where I'm going, what I'm on, because it's not about, my thing is that everybody has lost their place. Mm-hmm. We're in a day and time. I grew up with a woman that was born in 1900, that died in 87, that had room and house with older people constantly instilling in me the values of who we are without nothing.
That's right.
It ain't about the stuff. It's about who you are and who they are. And in doing that, I feel like this. If you're going to be with somebody, know your place. If you're going to want to be a wife, act like a wife before you become a wife. Know the things that you need to do in order to make your household run the way it should run. If you're going to be a husband, act like a husband. A husband is supposed to provide and protect. Yeah. That's our mission.
Come on,
that's
now.
Our goal.
Come
you understand me? All that Benny Hannas and all that ain't what I'm
Why
talking
you
about.
The Benny
Because I'm tired of Benny Hannas. My
They
thing
go
is this
Benny
here.
Hannas.
That God blessed me to meet some men in my life, and the guy told me something that was so simple. And I was like, wow, because I was like, man, me and you and your girl been through some stuff, but y'all managed to stay together. He was like, the reason we stay together is because I know my place. Number one is I live like I'm single. I was like, what? I said, I kind of like, he said, no, I don't mean date other women. He said, what I mean by that is that I handle everything within that house financially. What she makes, that's sugar on top, you know. But my job is to make sure the bills are paid, condos paid, things that, no, that's the way it should be. It ain't no such thing as old school. Or that's the problem we have when we talk about old school versus new school. It's what needs to be. Because a woman is supposed, she has lost her place. She hard now. You got a woman laying in a bed with you, that's a man. So you got 2 men laying in the bed. Yeah, you understand me? That's why we having the problems we have.
But see, the key word was what you said was that's the way it should be, but that's not the way that it is. Look at the time now. I just read something in the magazine where you got 60% of men are becoming mannies. They're at home with the kids, and the women are out in the field. You see what I'm saying? Times just have changed.
No,
and I'm not one of the women that just want to snap back into the 50s. You know, I want to work.
It ain't about the 50s.
And we could break bread together. Why not? You go half on the bills. Why not? I pay half on the bills. I don't have a problem with that. I can pay my own way.
If that's what you feel and that's what you want,
like that though, that's gonna pay the bills and be the man.
Because we are not teaching. Older brothers like me have to instill these things in each other. My father, my grandfather, and all that. My daddy learned from his father. His father learned from his father, and he learned the values of being a man and the sacrifice that it takes. Nobody want to sacrifice no more.
No, they don't.
Not for the kids, not for nothing. You gonna say, because you mad, you gonna say what you want to say in front of your kids about their mother, and even if y'all together or not together. And these are the things that we got to get back in place. And when I come around a woman, and I date a woman on the real of no comedy or nothing else, first I look at the structure of her household. Is this something that I could afford to take care of? You understand me? Second is the type of man that I am. I see she has girls, she has boys. I have to be an example for these young men growing up in this house. When I come over there, I leave at a certain time. They don't see me in her room. They don't see, things of that nature. Certain conversations I don't talk around them boys. Certain conversations I don't talk around the daughter, because the thing for them is to emulate what they see. Right. And if I bring what's supposed to be the real to them, then if they don't do nothing but gravitate on something I taught them, Even if we and their mother don't stay together, he'll say, well, I did see how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
But you know what? You brought up a good point, because a lot of relationships that are accumulating now, we're starting these relationships with people, and then we have kids, and then we're no longer with them, and whether it's dating or married. So now we have kids that's involved, and you bring that also into a new relationship. So I believe all of us have children. I know for me, my son, he's very overprotective. I was at a restaurant. Look, I was at a restaurant, and this man came up to me. He saw me put out my business cards, like I'm always promoting, putting out my business card. And I put out my business card, and he said, so what you do? He started talking and everything. And I said, well, I'm a media personality, X, Y, and Z. And so, look, he pulled out his look, so all of a sudden, my son came out of nowhere and said, you want to go night-night, nigga? Get out of my mama face. And I was like, John, for real? I was like, that's what we are? I was like, John, you don't have to be disrespectful. He said, no, he didn't acknowledge me. He saw that I was your son. He saw I was here with you, and he should have said hi to me first before he talked to my mom. I was like, you can't be disrespectful, though, to people. So my son is definitely a unique child.
Your son is a child that I come over there, I'm going to give him some NyQuil cookies and knock him out. You understand me? No child talk to no grown man like that.
Look,
I agree with you.
He feel like he grown though.
Well, first he had to. You just shouldn't talk to nobody kids though, because some people will be mad like, don't talk to my son. So he definitely should have acknowledged you. He definitely should have acknowledged your son, because if you can't notice him now, what's going to happen later on?
Right.
This is totally a different day. I see the difference. 33. What's how old are you?
36.
36.
38.
38. I'm 54, and it's jacked up now. Thank you, Jesus, I ain't 30. Nothing.
We got all different.
Not on y'all strength, but I'm just saying, coming from where I came from with the older women, with these women and men, that it was about us and not about stuff and not about. We knew our places. This is what I'm saying. Now, I'm nothing against y'all, but knowing your place. So that was a feeling.
You always saying on your place. What do you consider as a woman place?
Number one, a child does not yell out and say nothing to no grown person. When we was there, you couldn't even watch two grown people talk. She'd be like, "Boy, you retarded. Get your."
I was raised like that.
And I'm like. Okay.
I was.
Yeah, I corrected him after the fact, but by that time it's already gone. It's already gone out your mouth,
Kids but when I was coming up, as soon as it went out your mouth, all this went in
backhand.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I was raised two different ways, though. I was raised that when my parents was having a conversation, I was not to interrupt or be disrespectful, right? But then I was also raised and taught, hey, you have an opinion, you have a voice. You know when something is not right. You know when somebody's being disrespected, and you have the right to speak and say something. So I was taught a little bit differently for that. I was taught, people used to get mad that I could curse, growing up. Like, I would get upset as a teenager, and I might say shit or damn, and they would be like, so your mama ain't gonna say nothing? That's just how I felt at the time, because that was my frustration. I was an angry teenager growing up. You know what I'm saying? So they knew, like, well, beating her ass wasn't going to work. So she go scream and holler, and then she go be good. But that's just how I was raised. So people, was raised differently, but I definitely agree that.
My parents were not. You'd have had 2 feet up in your butt.
Hey, Brandon, do you think that goes into your dating, how you was raised?
Yeah. I think that ultimately your upbringing creates your decision-making skills. And how you were raised, the type of, let me say it like this, how you as a woman, how you deal with men, that's how your daughters are going to deal with men. And how me as a man, how I deal with women, that's how my sons are going to deal with women. And so I'm not trying to take sides, but I kind of agree with B on that. I was brought up like that. I wasn't allowed to get in conversations, whether it was just my mother or just my father. If someone comes up and speaks to my mother or speaks to my father, I wasn't allowed to do stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, yes, he's a boy, but he's also still a child. He's not an adult. So,
I guess we too free with us, because
Okay.
I admire the fact that he's stepped up.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, but then again, you have a boy trying to address a man.
Yeah.
That is.
But I think
that's what the problem is.
But you know where the problem came in at? It came in introducing him to people that I was
That's when it came
in a
in
relationship.
her,
Because
not that man.
see what happened is that he understands how I'm supposed to be treated by how my dad treats my mom, how my brother treats his wife, how he sees my siblings' husbands treat them.
But more importantly,
but hold on. So he's like, they tell him that he's the man of the house. So it's not just, you don't raise your kids by yourself. You have other people in your surroundings. Right. So they tell him, hey, look out for your mama. If you see something ain't right, you need to say something. So that's instilled in him. Now, the correct way of doing something may not be the correct way of doing it, but he's approaching it the way that he has been, how he's been told to do it. But bringing, relationships in, when do you think, is a good time to bring a relationship in or introduce? Some people say, to go ahead and introduce your kids at an early point because they should be dating right along with you. So all of y'all are on the same page. So what do you think?
My wife didn't meet my children until maybe... She had already knew of them, but she didn't have, one-on-one conversation with them until maybe 2 months after we did.
Now, did your wife have kids too, or you just had?
No, she didn't have children. Mm-hmm. I brought children into our relationship, and I think this is one of the things that with the children where things get lost in translation. 50% of marriages that happen, they're blended families.
Exactly.
That's true.
So it's not, like my wife didn't have children. I did. Mm-hmm. So I brought a blend into what we had. She didn't bring a blend into what we had. Right. So I think that's what gets lost in translation when people are dating that have children, as the other person doesn't have children, or both people are dating and they have children. And if the main goal of that relationship is to get married, you got to figure out how to blend your kids with his kids. Right. And that's a task.
Because you're marrying, all of you all are marrying each other.
Each other, yeah.
You're
marrying each other, so you got to figure out I had to figure out how to blend my children with my wife. Mm-hmm. And now she didn't bring nothing to the table as far as children, but I had to figure out how to blend all that together. She's not their mother, but she's a mother figure to them. And I had to tell my children, yes, she's not your mother. She'll never be your mother, but she's a mother figure to you.
Exactly.
And so, quite naturally, and here's what the facts are. My wife will never love my children the way I love them. And I think that when most people come into the blended family or they bring in kids, they want the other person to love their children the way that you love your children. And that's almost not going to happen. Now, they'll love your children, but when you get married, another man is not going to love your son the way you love your son.
That's true.
That's just not going to. Now, he'll provide for him probably. He'll probably be a male figure for him. But it takes how old is John?
John, he about to be 12.
He's 12. You've had 12 years with him. So you got somebody coming in who's had 0 years with him. And they have to build that. So I think in most relationships, people expect, not relationships, but marriages, when you have a blended family. Now, remember, 50% of people that get married today are blended families.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
They're blended because people have children now. People are single having children. So 50% of them are blended families. And you just have to keep that in the back of your mind. I got to figure out how to blend all of this. I got to figure out how to get everybody to get along. I got to figure out how to get everybody on the same page. And that's a task.
And it's definitely rough when you coming from a divorce and you have children from that divorce and then you bringing them into a new relationship as well. Yeah. Because a level of trust and, stability and they're hurt too. You know what I'm saying? Like when I got a divorce, and a lot of people didn't even know I was married, but when I got a divorce, it was hard for that transition, because it's like you dealing with their kids, he had kids, I had my son, and so your kids' feelings are like, they mourning too, because now they're not going to have a part, of what they've had a part of or establish that relationship.
The Cynthia Bailey thing, that's what's going on with her, like, she was married to Peter, and she had the baby by Leon, already a daughter, but like the girl came out and said in the show, like, hey, y'all got divorced and nobody thought to ask me about how I felt. Like, I love Peter. Yeah. He's been in my life all these years. Like, y'all separate now, and what about me and Peter's relationship? I want to still be able to talk to Peter. I want to still be able to see him. You might not, Mama, but I don't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So it does bring some type of strain to what your kids may think. But back to the original question, what you said, do I think when you're dating, I think, yes, they need to know that you have children because they need to know what type of baggage that they have to deal with. I need to know if you got 3 kids and 3 baby mamas because I need to know if that's something I want to deal with.
Exactly.
So I need to know that.
Yeah.
Now, when I meet them, I think we should probably be at least 6 months, 3 to 6 months in, because I think in 6 months, I should know a lot about you in 6 months.
Yeah.
We should have accomplished a lot in 6 months. And about that time, that would be a great time for you to say, well, come on, meet my kids. Now, especially if they're little, you know what I'm saying? I had the cousins, the aunties, they had the uncles. Oh, girl, there ain't nobody but Uncle Chris. Say hey to Uncle Chris. They kids calling this man Uncle Chris. And this ain't Uncle Chris. This one of they boos. You know, they boyfriends. So I saw that growing up, and I would be like, dang.
Why
you got a
got
new
no
uncle
uncle?
every week. Like, what's going on? You know, I have a huge family. So at the barbecues, we would see stuff like that, birthday parties. Like, she got a whole new man, girl. What is going on? Who is this dude? She met this another whole new. What's going on? Like, so it would make me think, like, dang, you know, she moving a little fast, but she would be in a relationship with these people. And I would look at other people's situations and be like, I don't want to be like that. And at one point, I found myself almost like that. Like, damn, I done dated 4 people within this year. And I could be with one person for 4 months, one person for 5, you know, one person for 3. And it's like, what's going on?
But then
You're still trying to date and build, but I think 6 months probably is a good idea before you could say, here's my son or here's my daughter. If they're teenagers, I definitely would probably want to introduce you, you know, because they're teenagers. They're a little older to say you're dating. This is what I'm doing. Little kids, they don't really get it. They don't really know the gist of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But the older kids.
The fact is this here. What a lot of younger people don't pay attention to, and older people don't pay attention to, is that all them different relationships you bring your kids into, and they don't work, your kids leave with a void every time.
Yeah.
And you don't think about that. You know, it didn't work. I'm trying to get, no, but you have to look at the pattern. If it's 4 different dudes in a year that this man and this boy and girl got attached to, because they do, you got to realize they're individuals. You call them kids, and kids is a goat. That ain't no. Our children, you understand me, will go through changes because they build relationships with these people. Yeah. And especially a boy, if he doesn't have a man figure around that he can relate to, and this dude was cool to him, they played games together, and he took him, and he did stuff. When now he's gone, here come another guy later on down the road, because you give it some time. But at the same time, you got to remember, this child is getting abandoned. Every rip you change a man, this child goes through. I like that dude. You know what I'm saying? But then a lot of them take it, because we have so many angry young men today, is because of the fact he's not just mad. He's hurt from you, and he's hurt from this guy, but he's mad at that guy. He like, man, dude, me and you was cool. You know, why we couldn't stay cool? You know what I'm saying? But you can't. Because you can't have a man and this other dude you used to deal with coming to get your son. Very few.
So what's your take? Because you dated.
You got to take your time and be for real. If you're looking to be married, then be married. Look for somebody and bring that person around who you're going to put time in. Yeah. Anything you go through, you got to put work in. A girlfriend, boyfriend, being just friends, going into marriage, you got to put the work in. And if you ain't willing to put the work in, leave it alone and just raise your child and call it a day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she told me that she didn't desire to be married. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I don't either.
It's nothing wrong with that. You know, like I said earlier, some marriage is for some people, and it's not for some people. Singleness is for some people, and it's not for some people. But here's another thing. When B was talking, another thing that I believe gets lost in translation. What was the thought I had? You were talking about the fathers. I think that most of these people that I'll come back to that. A lot of people, like I said, 50% of people that are getting married are blended families. Most of them are divorced. So you got somebody who's went through a divorce, and I've been through divorce before. It was 10 years before I got married again. And when you go through divorce, you have to detox yourself of a lot of that stuff that went on, because all it takes is one little situation reminding you of the past, and it's going to reinvent all that stuff in your mind again.
And your kids.
Yeah, and your kids. and your kids. So if you want to be married, if you desire to be married again, and you're divorced or you've been in a long relationship and now single, you have to detox yourself of that person, that situation, what happened, and you have to own your stuff.
I know when we was talking, you had shared a book about Miles Monroe.
Yeah, I read when I got divorced. Maybe a year after I got divorced, this pastor gave me this book by Miles Monroe. It's called Life During Separation, Life During Divorce, Life After Divorce. And some of those scenarios he brought up in that book, that's what happened. Because when you're going through separation, you have a certain mindset. When you're going through the divorce, you have a certain mindset. When you're divorced, you have a certain mindset. And those are all emotional roller coasters. All three of those situations, you've been through divorce before, right? So you can agree, all three of those are different emotional roller coasters.
It is. It's like it's like 3 different semesters,
Yeah.
Like this is my thing, and this is where my discernment come in at with the whole relationship thing. And I don't have children. I have my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
So for me, I'm their big sister. I still have to be a role model. I am what you call the mother figure still. And when you said something about like when you break up with somebody, you cannot control. Women cannot dictate the man that they choose to date and what he's going to do. I could date you, love you for 2 years, and you could be everything that you were supposed to be. I could think you are heaven sent, and something could change within this person, and that relationship will end.
Yeah.
I have to then tell my brothers and sisters, my kids, because I call them my kids, I have to explain to him, my brother, hey, it didn't work out. You know why it didn't work out? Because this is why it didn't work out.
My thing
Adults
is,
sometimes mess up.
I understand that.
Sometimes you have to.
Pattern.
I don't have a
stuff.
pattern
I
of
just say
because
you.
my kids don't see every guy that I date because this is the thing. You're dating. Dating means I could date you for however long. I could date you. I could talk to you. I'm just dating. But when you say you put yourself in a relationship, the game is different from being in a relationship. When you're dating, you're having fun. You're trying to see the person you want to be in a relationship with. That's the difference. The people I'm dating, my brothers and sisters not going to meet them. But they have met men that I have been in a relationship with. And when the relationship have ended, one of my brothers expressed like, man, I really liked him. Like, he ain't going to come back around no more. But I've always managed to still be friends with my exes.
Right.
I have never had relationships where they have ended so badly that we couldn't even talk. I don't see them. They might still come to a barbecue, a picnic, or come by the house, things of that nature. But I just explained to them, because like I said, I have teenagers. They're 20, 19, 18, and 17.
Yeah.
You're going to go through this in life. I teach them the strength of a woman, because I'm not a man. Like you said, I can't teach them how to be a man, but I can tell them what a man mess up. I can tell them what a man can do wrong and what a man can do right. So even with that pattern with kids and you have your children, they seeing you going through different relationships, so what? That's the part of life. Should I have love because I have children? No. I have to take a risk. It's a risk you take.
Yeah.
It's a gamble. You don't know. You didn't know when you married your wife if she was going to stay the same woman you married. You didn't know if she was going to flip out and change. You took a risk. So the risk is she's the woman that you married and you're blending your family because you was divorced.
Yeah.
Now she's this good person. What happens when she changed? Do you not go find love again? No, you have to still move on with your life and you hope to find the right person. So I don't think the thing is to put it like, it's such a bad thing that you have so many relationships. No, because you don't know the person that you're going to date is going to change from the person you chose him to be. You don't know that.
Let's put it this way then.
You don't know that.
We need to take the time before you get into dating and saying you want to be married. If you want to just date and kick it, then that's you do game to do whatever you want. The thing that I see that's the problem that we have is that we don't know ourselves. So if we don't know ourselves, we're going to have different people. And if they do something, we're going to say, well, it ain't going to work. Go on about your business. The thing about our thing about not knowing each other is that we are too much into pointing fingers versus working on ourselves. Yeah. If you sit back, this man told me something that was so profound and so cold, and it's the real, is that if you're working to be the best that you can be in any relationship, whether I'm your friend, whether I'm your husband, whether I'm your boyfriend, I don't have time to point fingers at you. And God is going to elevate and turn you into who he knows that because I'm putting the work in. It's hard to not be right when somebody is right to you. Even when times when you know you wasn't right, they still were there for. That's the way mamas and daddies was with us. They never gave up on us. So if you sitting up there and you doing this, then you are creating a pattern that everything around you, that's just like when you talked about your wife and your thing about couples and marriage is when God created Adam and Eve and he had them at Eden. Eden was not a place. It was a state of mind. And that's where we miss them. We should have heaven on earth. That's the way it's supposed to be. You don't have it because you toxic. So much toxic comes inside yourself, you devalue who you are and what your morals and values are. So if you're going to be like that, then you don't care about what's something else going on. I care about my nieces and nephews. I want to be a good uncle. I want to be a good son. I want to be a good man to my woman. I don't care what the other guy's doing because I'm not, my circle, this is why you have a circle.
Yeah.
You have a
right
circle.
about that.
And if you're not elevating yourself with people around you, then you're in the wrong circle. If these people don't make you feel good about who you are and who they are, you're in the wrong circle.
But you know what I was thinking, and I've been talking about, you know, the hashtag I Am Grateful Challenge, and we've been talking about, you know, choosing things to be grateful for, and that's in changing your state of mind. But the 5 things that, you know, like Shanae was talking about, you know, you have to work on yourself, you know, and you said the same thing. And it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, and physically. You have to be equipped in those areas, or your relationships, no matter where it's
You shouldn't be looking
business,
for a
no matter
relationship.
where, you know, it's, you know, any type of relationship that you're trying to establish, it's going to fall apart if you're not aware and stable
Say
in
that.
those areas, you know. So
You're not gonna be no
spiritually,
good for
yeah,
nobody.
you're not going to be no earthly good. So spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, your credit bad. Why you taking me out? You know what I'm saying? Let's focus on your credit. I know for me, I'm an entrepreneur, so anyone that comes in my life, they have to respect that aspect, and most people don't understand the aspect or the mindset of an entrepreneur.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? The hustle, the grind. Yeah, some days I'm going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, working on my
Say
vision,
that.
working on my craft, you know, or I'm going to do an event and I'm going to be out. You know, I may not get paid for this event, but this is something that I'm passionate about and I love, and I know that it's going to bring in fruit. You know, so some people don't understand that type of mindset. I've always been taught to be an employer, not an employee. You know, and so when you have a relationship that's you're establishing as well, they need to understand that type of mindset, and you need to be honest with yourself of who you are. And if you don't know who you are, my whole thing with the show is to be bold, to be fearless, and be authentically you. And the reason for that is if you can't embrace you for who you are, don't expect somebody else to embrace you. Especially after divorce, you know, you're changing. Most women after the divorce, you know, they'll go get their ears pierced, they'll go get tattoos. I did give you a tattoo. Look, I got I Am Freedom. You know, like, you know, they cut their hair. They go through this change, you know, this emotional
Men do
change.
too, we just don't know what the change
Yeah,
would be.
you don't know. But
don't
most
know.
men, after divorce, they get back into a new relationship. You know, you said 10
They hit the
years. You
gym.
said, yeah, you know, so, you know, relationships change how you view. You know, for me, I was disappointed. You know, I felt like I failed, you
Me
know,
too, me
because
too.
my parents have been married, my sisters, my siblings are married, and I'm like, man, I feel like the black sheep, you know, and I want
too.
family. I want, like, that's what I brought up, you know, that's what I was brought up on, and I want that, and I know that I have that, but it's like, okay, how do you see that? You like, okay, I made a mistake.
Or did you wonder, how do you know if that's for you?
Right.
Because that was my thing.
Yeah.
What
When you talk about divorce, one thing, there's no such thing as a nice divorce. You know, when you go through divorce, first of all, when you get married, the Bible says that 2 people become one flesh. When you get divorced, that flesh rips apart. That's why divorce is so painful.
But what they want flesh in the first place? Because most people get married and
watch
it's
this.
lust and unequally yoked
True,
already.
But when you, if when you get married and you stand before God and you make a vow to God to be there for this person, to honor, cherish all the vows that it says, then at that point, spiritually, you do become one flesh. Whether
Okay,
it's
so I'm
the
asking
wrong-
another question. Is
So
it
it's the-
really valid if it wasn't the right one? Or that only work when it is the right one? And you,
A lot of people say those words.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, a
so
lot of
damn,
people-
do us part, boo. I got you.
Right.
I'm
No,
going to
you're
love
right.
you to eternity. We all seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on
true.
now.
But
It's
here's the
them
thing:
wolves in
what
sheep
get-
clothing.
when it's certain thing, people get married before they find out certain things while they're dating, and I think that warning comes before destruction comes. And a lot of times, a lot of us that's been through divorce, and I'm gonna speak for me, I had those warning signs before I went to the altar. I just didn't pay attention to them. And a lot of us had those warning signs.
I had some signs.
You know, a lot of us had those.
You just don't want to believe them.
We just don't want to believe them. You know,
Or you ready to get married?
Yeah, you were just ready to get like me, and you. Everybody gets married for different reasons.
That's true.
In my first marriage, I got married because she got pregnant with my son. That was the only.
You was
reason.
22, right? So
yeah.
you was trying to do the right thing.
I was trying to do the right thing, but in turn, I was doing. And here's where people marry the wrong people, because and another thing that happens when dating, I think people have sex too soon. And that.
So you think 10 dates is good?
Should we do the 90-day rule?
The 90-day challenge. I mean, it's all these shows.
I want to get into that. I want to hear his opinions about
you
that.
You got to know if you're sexually compatible.
Here's what the thing with having
you
sex.
Ain't gonna wait
with having sex too soon.
Because I got to know if your stroking is right. I got to know all that. You know what
Brandon, what you say, though?
I can't do that.
Brandon. Okay.
Here's the problem with having. Here's the problem with having sex too soon. What if you give and I think most women have more problems in this area than men, because women are more emotional about their bodies. You know, when you give your body too soon to a person, then you find, like you said, this person flips out on you. You find out this person's crazy. And then here's the thing, you might get pregnant by this person. Then you
number one, you were retarded because you should have been strapped up in the first place, because her hair is falling out in the back and it ain't bad weed. She might got that bug, you understand me?
Here's the thing,
HIV ain't got no necklace on it.
It don't.
Here's the thing, B. When you have sex too soon and it's the wrong person, you get pregnant, then you're stuck with this person.
Oh, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. You can move to another country. I'll show you how.
But here's the thing. Then you
move to another country.
I've been to Germany. I've been to the Netherlands. I've been to England. I got a passport right now with 3 different names. I got you, player. Because ain't nothing worse than an ugly baby. I ain't lying. They be like, that's your baby. Man, come on. Don't ask me this no more. Look at this baby.
You all Maury.
Ain't no DNA there. Nah,
that
Maury
baby's
ain't
daughter
on.
is so cute.
I think people get married. Everybody gets married for different reasons.
Yeah.
But this is it should only be one reason you get married.
Right.
And what do you think that reason is? Is it because I love you? Because this is what we hear. I married her because I loved her.
But most love is lust.
Most
love is lust, though. It's not even really love.
What do you love about her?
If it's lust, you don't know love.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So therefore, when you say you love somebody,
man, that's not always. I married a guy and I didn't even have sex with him. So,
okay, but that's fine too.
Then I married him and we still
because
didn't have sex.
Because you say you want to do the right thing. People say the right thing. The right thing
I'm
is
divorced.
The thing that we don't take the time to look at is this right here. You have to know who you are.
Yeah.
You have to know who you are. When you go, you got God first.
That's right.
And you know that when I come to this woman, first thing I see is sight. She look good to me, so. But then I'm gonna take the time to find out what this about.
Now you know what?
Because I got to have somebody that I can talk to that stimulates me and I stimulate them, and they're like-minded. For what? Because if you bring somebody in your life, entrepreneur, woman at work, whatever, and he's not elevating you, then you have chosen off the top the wrong person.
But I think elevation should be physical as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are a nympho and you marry somebody, that has a problem with having sex, then you're gonna have a problem in your marriage because you're not being fulfilled. So do you say? And I'm not saying y'all go out and have sex with, out getting, married or all of that other stuff. I'm just saying this is the real world, okay? So how long you think it should be before, if you choose to have sex? Because I know it's some people that are now,
Steve Harvey said 90 days.
Steve Harvey done been married to I don't know how many women. He done had booze on the side and everything else. But people gonna listen to him and tell you how to do a relationship. That's about as retarded as somebody tell me to put my hand in some grease and the fire just came on. It ain't that hot. The fire been on for 10 minutes. Grease don't take that long.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
So do you agree
quit going to the wrong people to get information like those talk shows, reality shows, all this stuff. That can't give you no information. You first got to go to him. If you ain't got no relationship with God and common sense, because that's all Steve Harvey's book was, common sense.
I swear.
Then something's wrong with you.
People kept saying, girl, I'm doing a 90-day challenge. I'm doing a 90-day rule. I said,
they need to
Steve Harvey
probably
write a book to tell you not to give up no coochie for 90 days. You didn't already know that? Like, and this is the thing. This is my thing about the book. I read the book. I thought the book was dope for suckers who was go read the book and need the book. I didn't need the book because this is my thing.
And believe me,
you
he
know
didn't
whether
write
you
that
gonna
book.
smash in 3 days or 30. You know when you meet somebody like, girl, I'm gonna take him down Tuesday, girl. It's the day. It's Monday, and I want to take him down tomorrow. You know that day, that instance, when you see him wherever you met him at, Bible study, the club, the church, the mall. You know right then and there, like, girl, I got to have that. You know,
But
just
then-
like women get instincts just like men.
Okay.
Men thoughts be, oh yeah, we at the club, booty banging, she look good, breasts right, I'm smashing. Women, we had the same thought. We just don't always admit it.
Okay,
You see what
but
I'm
let's
saying?
go-
But we have them thoughts too now. And I don't think it take you 90 days to know if you're going to smash or not. And I don't feel like it's something wrong with women who smash in 10 days versus women who smash on the 90th.
Okay, I look at it this
I
way,
feel
though.
like you got to know what you want. If that's what
My
you want,
thing is this.
know what you're doing when you're doing what you're doing.
Stuff gonna get old. Looks gonna get old. Coochie gonna get old. Man's privacy gonna get old. You understand me? And that's the problem we have as well. We look so much into the physical, and right now we don't see a future. We don't plan a future. This is why we as black people don't have nothing that we bought that can make money or we can sell to get money off of. You know what I'm saying? We got to get out of that right now attitude. Everything is instant.
gratifications.
Everything is instant. You know, I want this now. I want to go. I don't want to go to no dictionary. I'm gonna Google it. And I'm gonna get whatever they say is true.
Or
You go to
140
church.
characteristics, IG, and all of this
My
other
thing
stuff.
is this here. You got to get back to looking at you're supposed to grow old. We don't take the concept of anything about growing older. Do you meet this person you meet, are they like-minded? Do I want to spend the rest of my life, not
That's where
just
I'm at
if
now,
something
like-
go wrong, I'm done with them? Or, girl, you know, stuff could go. When you come into a relationship with a mindset like that, whether it be
Negative.
your mama, your kids, or whatever the case may be, and you put on this child, if you do one more thing, I'm done with you, you created a pattern for that child.
Yeah.
We got to get out of there and say, there's nothing in the world the woman that God gives me can do that I'm not going to stay with her. I've been through the trials and tribulations because now I know what I'm looking for. I know how to go about picking it because he's going to help me pick. You know what I'm saying? And when I get with this woman, I'm not looking at what she's not doing. I'm looking at what I can do. I'm a man.
So you coming in to fix and help with the situation.
I'm coming in to be a man.
That's what's up.
That's all I'm coming
We
in
need
to
more of
secure
him. Y'all
and
watching?
prov-
We
But
gonna need
no,
some more of them.
at the same time, it's about us being honest. We don't talk to each other.
We
Me and
don't.
him as men need to talk to each other. If I got issues and problems, this man might have a solution. We too busy worrying about how we look in front of people to be who we really
Now,
are.
you know what? I got the agree. I just said that on my show 2 days ago. Men, start talking to your fellow men. Like, if you
No,
know
can
these
I say
men
this? Hold on
bogus,
before you
ain't
finish.
out
Hold
there
on
with
before
their
you
kids,
finish.
ain't doing right,
No, hold on
and you
before you
know that,
finish.
you should tell them.
No, tell them the
funny.
truth.
Tell 'em.
Get the right
Brother.
No, yeah, get the right person that you get
Right.
that you get
Information
stuff from,
from.
because you got a lot of fools that you hang with, and a
give
fool
them wrong
can't do nothing but
information.
make you be a fool. You know, that go for women and whoever. Quit telling that girlfriend of yours your business. She don't like you for real. She around you because your status and what you can help bring. You understand me? Same thing with guys. Everybody in your circle don't like you. You know, haters should make you be a they should be your motivators. Don't dislike haters. Haters are people that wish they could be you. That's all that is. You understand me? And we took too much time into worrying about how somebody think about us. This man is married, his wife is married. Those are the only two people that are most important that you count on. What she says is important. What your mama and them say is cool, but it's not law.
important.
Yeah.
This is law. Two people that come together, that's law. And you
And
sit
one
back.
thing be, a lot of people, you know, that I've noticed, they don't honor that. You know, when you go back to, you know, as the Bible says, where marriage originated from, I think that there's a few, when a woman decides to let a man choose her, there's a few things that man needs to have before you decide to choose him. Now, and I think where most women go wrong, they choose men that don't have what they need.
But they say this, girl, he got ambitions. I think he gonna be something. This man, 40 years old, talking about being a country and western rapper and living in his mama's basement. Weird.
But you know, in some houses
Yeah.
though, there is no man figure to even look at. I was fortunate to have my father, you know, to look at, but they not, you know, really doing that. But we're getting ready to come to a close, and thank you everybody for, you know, tuning in with us. We've been talking about single, dating, married, divorced, now what? And I've had the pleasure to be in the same room with these lovely people. We're gonna close out here, but before we close, Brandon, you want to leave us with something? We're just gonna take it on down. What would you like to leave, you know, with the audience today?
Whatever point in your life you are, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married or divorced, there's a better life after that. You just have to seek that better life after that. Whether if you're single and you desire to have a husband, you can have that husband or a wife. If you're married, you can have a happy marriage. If you're divorced or going through divorce, there is life and good life after divorce. But you have to desire that. You have to create that. You have to pray for that, and you have to believe it by faith.
Now, how can they connect to you before we go to Shanae? How can they connect to you?
You can connect to me by Facebook at BrandonTReynolds.com. You can connect with me on Instagram at BrandonTReynolds.
And Shanae,
go ahead, Shanae,
what would you like to leave?
I just want to leave everybody with what I've learned in my life experiences. Being 33, I've been through a lot, you know, divorced and everything. I just want people to do them. Live every day like it's your last. If you not looking to be married, then don't look to be married. But what you got to do is figure out who you are. If I could leave people with something, I want you to know who you are. Love yourself. So many of us spend so much time loving everybody else, loving men, loving women, and we neglect ourselves. I neglected myself for the last 6 years, taking on my grandma, taking on kids, and I didn't do it for me. So I'm learning, and I've learned to now rebrand myself, start living for myself. So what I want to tell people is love yourself, find your worth, figure out who you are, know where you've been in life, and know where you're going. And if you happen to find love in that journey, then that is great. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Miss Oh So True. That's MZOHSOTRU. Miss Oh So True.
Thank you. And BLT?
I would say that we need to always take a look at yourself instead of pointing fingers. Look in the mirror every day and say, how can I better myself today than I was yesterday? And in doing that, make sure that you're doing it because you want to do it, not because you want looking for people to give you accolades. But you doing good, you looking good, now this, that, and other. Do this because you, and like you say, you got to love you. Once you love you, start loving everything around you.
That's right.
You understand me? And leave a legacy. Don't just exist. Live your life every day. Live it.
That's
and
right.
Live it to give, not to receive. That's what I
Now
feel.
share your upcoming event.
Oh, I have an event. Yeah, done real quick. God gave me a vision. I do a show called When Music Was at Its Best. It's old school at its best. I found singers that sound exactly like artists that are deceased, some that are still here. We do like this particular show is February 12th. We're doing a Valentine's show, but it's not for just couples. It's called A Love Explosion. It's about us learning how to love each other without looking for something in return. Mm-hmm. And this particular show, we're doing tribute to Gerald Levert, Luther Vandross, Gladys Knight, Anita Baker. I do it with a live band, background singers. God give me the songs that they should sing, the way they should come out. But more importantly, the message in these shows are about, it's called Wake Up Feelings. Because a lot of people my age in their 50s, 40s, you've been dormant. You have allowed this structure of black people to go wherever so-called other people wanted it to go without putting in work and changing things and being an example instead of being a problem. So what this show does is bring back those old school values that we grew up in morals, where you take care of each other and you don't look for the government to do it. You don't look for her man to do it. You minds. My friend, my sister, my niece, my cousin. I'm supposed to be there. If I got extra, you supposed to have it. You shouldn't have to ask. But that's what these shows are about. I do these shows every second Sunday at Universal Entertainment Center on 11901 South Loomis. And it's just about giving back. Every show I try to you
positive.
raise something.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
positive.
We did belts last show. I give belts to recovery homes, to young men on the street. It's about stop talking about the
Stop
problem
the sagging.
and being the solution in a
That's
problem.
right.
That's
I
all
like
it is.
that.
So that's where I'm at. Please come out. I guarantee you're going to have a ball.
Well, I guarantee you guys.